Yep, about to in a minute. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get my tea. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yep. Gotta get my tea. Hold on. Yep. Just made it in. I just made it in. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. We getting in. We getting in. We getting in, baby. We are getting in. I gotta get my tea ready. Yeah. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? I hope y'all having an amazing day. Peace, peace, peace. I know I am. Had a productive one. So I'm just getting my libations. We're gonna have a good one. But I want to say thank you. I wrote the names down that purchased those books from me yesterday. And they said it was okay for me to give a testimony. I got your names. And one of the people was like, bro, do they know those books, only 5 of those books you showed was $5,000? And I let people get them for a fraction of the price. I'm not a gatekeeper. I don't care what color you are. I operate on truth. I deal with all science, all history. And I've been sharing this, bringing things to the regular public, stuff that I did on the college campuses. I have a full library. And those 5 books yesterday was worth over $5 grand. So I want to thank all the college students that was on my other platform that put their money together and purchased them. The reason why I converted a lot of books to ebooks, because most people is not going to buy those books. It costs too much. And I print and bind them, but I give you the ebook or the PDF as well, so you can travel with it and have it on your tablet. So I always try to tell my brothers and sisters, it's nothing new under the sun. Nothing is hidden from you. You're just not introduced to it. And truth has no sides. Anyone come with that color stuff, I'm just gonna block you. I'm not even gonna entertain no trolls, no grown people, because that shows something about your aptitude. If you don't agree with anything I'm saying, all you have to do is remove yourself. It's that simple. No one should be pressuring no one to do something they don't have to do. But here, I share with us. And I've been proven over and over that our people, no disrespect, and I'm not saying all melanated people, but when I offer something that's worth a value, especially if you get the ebook, it's like an NFT, and it costs so much on Amazon, the first thing I will be doing, if I say I'm a student, a studier, philosopher, more, all that stuff, I'm gonna be getting with me. Why? Because I need that. And I need to be a part of the studies. And the reason why I know my people know my voice, because I do this in academia, and I've done it in academia, and I've graduated with honors. So once again, I'll give the previews from the books that I shared yesterday. Once again, if you like this, get some stars. Say you like it. Share it with your brothers and sisters. Let's get this thing that's not common to the general public. Let's make this go viral. Let's show our brothers and sisters that we don't argue on social media. We're not niggardly. We deal with scholarship. I'm not orthodox. I'm not here for nobody religious dogma. Keep that on your own platform. So, once again, these are some of the gifts that I was given yesterday. Some of these books I'm throwing in. One of the books that I'm still having to have to get, copied and bound. I'm having a little bit of time with the Pixels. It's Without Sanctuary by Leon F. Litwalk. And it shows all the slavery in American history. But I got something else for you guys too. I'll share that later in my discussion. But it's another book called The Tavistock Institution of Human Relations, Shaping the Moral and Spiritual by John Coleman. I was given that one for free. This is what I tell my brothers and sisters. Peace, babe. If I'm giving something and you say you're studying and you know you don't have it, you need to get it from me. I give gifts. I give things for a fraction of a dollar. And when people say the white man or the black man is, everybody that purchased these books from me yesterday was some of my European colleagues and a couple of my misnomer Chinese colleagues at GCU that follow me on my other platform. That's why we lost. And I was giving that book away in the bundle. The next book is The Secrets of Personal Psychic Power. That one is $112 on Amazon. It's $112 on Amazon. I have that available for my brothers. I was throwing that in the packet. The next one was Sacred Drift by Peter Lambert Wilson. It have our Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the cover. That book was $104 on Amazon, and that's a used book. Now add this stuff up. The next book was called Fruits of the Moon Tree by Alan Bleakley. And this book, the paperback book, is $687 on Amazon, but it's unavailable. I have the hard copy book. I converted it to an ebook. They sell it on other platforms for $999. Now add these books up. The next one is the Book of Knowledge, The Keys to Enoch. This is why a lot of my brothers and sisters are confused, because they don't have the pieces to the puzzle. This book was about $600. It went down. It's $135 on Amazon right now. And I lectured all these books on the college campus. The Golden Age of the Moors. I was throwing this book in the bundle because it's only $27 on Amazon. The price go up and down, as you will see. The next one was called Criminalizing a Race by McIntyre. And the book is used for like $189, the cheapest, $90. I was throwing that in the bundle. Now continue to add these prices. The next was Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. It's $622 on it. Not no Russian blacks, Russian icons, Russian icons. This the one with the plates, not the cheap one for $180. No, for $180. A misnomer black lady hit me up like, oh, I'll just go off Amazon. And all my people know that book don't even have a place in it. And then she bought it, got it. Everybody laughed at her because there's no place in it. Then tried to get the book from me. No, you can't get it from me. If you know how to get it, do it on your own. But that's what we get. We don't want to support our own people. Well, I'll just go buy it from Amazon. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do as you do, waste all that money on paper, but I have it, and I lecture, and I've done it a plethora of times, and all my college students have it. The next one is called Melanin, the Chemical Key to Black Greatness, the harmful effects of toxic drugs on melanin centers within the Black Human, Black Greatness series. This book on Amazon is $999. So I hope y'all doing the math. The next one was Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, a new look at the slavery issue by Lawrence R. Tenzer. And this one is almost $1,000 on Amazon, $1,000 on Amazon. Most people don't have it. So if you add all them books up, I gave those books, ebooks, and my Mufti's print and bind them because we have our printing press. My Mufti Lamarck and my Mufti Dantes, they print and bind only expensive and rare books. Because we're not going to waste our time buying a book you can get for $20. We'll give you the ebook for pennies. Say if a book costs $25, right, on Amazon, I'll give you the ebook for $5. You can print and bind it all you want to, but you will have it. You will have it in your tablet as you travel, because you're not traveling with no book bag full of books. I hope we get into technology. And I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters before I get into the teachings, to show brothers what they miss out on. And I let people get all those books for a fraction of the price. And all you got to do is hit me up. I give my information. I give my email address. I share it with people for you can know. Because most people on TikTok, they just post covers of books. They're not going to share them with you. They're going to push you to some other underground bookstore and then try to make money off of you. I don't do that. I have a full library. I don't care what nobody talking about on TikTok. I have every book because I lecture. Nobody on the streets is going to have something that academia don't have. Period. Point blank. If you think that, then, oh well. A shade tree mechanic is not better than a master mechanic, especially if the master mechanic heart is pure. It's just not real. So I'm gonna talk about a couple things from a different Islamic perspective that we can understand. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Maccabee. You know, when I talk about Islamic perspective, Sufism, that a lot of our brothers don't know, different sects, because we get caught up with people, we get caught up in man. And I tell people, I don't care what you call yourself, more this, more that, I already tell you who I am. I give credit to Noble Ali. But I have elders that I study with. I've traveled. I'm a Sufi, I'm a Tasawwuf, I'm a medicine man. I deal with the Orisha, I deal with the Santeria, I deal with the Oligua. Why? Because I'm cultured. That's why. And when we talk about Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, the founder of the Mouridism, you know, the Mouridines, the Mouridine, just like when I talk about Credo Matua, the Mouridine. So I don't want to stay too far in Sheikh Bamba, but you know, they tried to play him, you know, in the French, just like they did all God men. He was born circa 1854 in a small village called Mbaki, Kajor, in the internal regions of Senegal. From his early childhood, he displays amazing qualities of his wisdom, sainthood, and knowledge that earn him respect and consideration from his community. From his community, the same way I should have the respect in my community, not just with Europeans and professors, especially if brothers and sisters say they Moors. Son of a scholar, the same way I am, and a virtuous woman, you know, called Mami Diarra Busolo, very popular in Senegal. Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba showed at an early age a limitless love of his creator and started composing Arabic poems to the glory of the Prophet Muhammad. These poems are extraordinary in terms of beauty and innovation in the way he rhymed them. And I can go on and on and on and on giving the brother credit, but I just wanted to give a little tittle of the type of Islam that I have the pleasure to study. I understand all the outside stuff. We're going to talk about that because we're going to have a great discussion. I just wanted to highlight a few things as we move on with this teaching. Now, when they try, I don't even want to talk about him yet. I'll get to him in a minute. I'll get to the other scholar in a minute. But I want to talk about another book that I totally forgot to tell y'all about, and it's the Templars and the Assassins. Now, in the Templars and the Assassins, is some history you will see. It's some history, the Assassins, the Islamic sect, you will start piecing history together. You know, and I'm going to break this whole book down one of these days. But this book has a plethora of chapters. It has 29 chapters. It got the initiation, the mystical secret societies, the doctrine of mystical secrets, teaching of the mystical secret societies, higher intelligences, political secret societies, hierarchical religions like the Rose and the Cross that I'm honored to be a part of. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society, the Assassins Myth, Islamic Roots, teachings of Islamism. Like I tell my brothers and sisters, I love Noble Ali, but I also love Deuce Muhammad Ali. I also love Abdul Himad Solomon as well. You know? An overview of Hassan's assassins. I mean, I don't want to stay too far in naming the chapters, but I'll just summarize a couple chapters as we go on in the teachings. So the first chapter is the initiation, right? And the concept of initiation addresses the divide between human consciousness and divine awareness. That's a central theme in both religion and philosophy. Instead of explaining this divide, initiation seeks to transcend its effects. The essence of initiation, termed gnosis, represents the individual's direct experimental connection with God during their earthly existence. The Gnostics aim for an immediate realization of divine grace, contrasting with traditional religious views, focused on posthumous outcomes. Through initiatory practices, we attain a deeper understanding of the God essence, aiming to elevate our consciousness beyond temporal limitations. This is what I teach here at the BBT. These are the tools in your toolbox. I teach you auto-suggestion. We have to know what auto-suggestion is. Do you think Edgar Cayce and Napoleon Hill got all this science from themselves? They was learned, just like Neville Goddard. All these Europeans was learned by the Ethiopian rabbi. You see? The mystical secret societies per se. Throughout history, mystical secret societies have been formed with the objective of initiation and spiritual enlightenment. These groups, akin to modern special interest organizations, they foster a communal journey toward altered states of consciousness. Members, muftis, whatever you want to call them, motivated by shared interests, engage in rituals and exchange of esoteric knowledge, facilitating personal development and deeper awareness. The mysteries explored within these societies often invoke feelings of reverence and awe, contrasting sharply with the typical rational mindset of society. You see, these are keys. I'm not here to argue who's supreme grand. I'm not here with that niggly, goofy stuff. I don't have time for that, y'all, and you shouldn't either, because most people on here are adults. So I give you some key points. If I was teaching in school, if I would say this is going to be on the test, this is going to be on the multiple choice and the fill in the blanks, I'll give you the answers. So you must come to class. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you key points, and I'll proceed to chapter. I'm going to do probably maybe 3 chapters, then we're going to go to the next point. So key points in that first chapter. Experimental connections to the divine. Examples are, imagine entering a dimly lit chamber filled with incense and the soft hum of ancient chants, where the air vibrates with energy. And as you partake in the sacred rituals of an initiatory society, you find yourself shedding the mundane worries of daily life. And each movement and whispered word guides you towards a profound realization of your connection to the divine, transforming your understanding of spirituality into an immediate, tangible experience. And in this moment, you no longer view God as a distant figure, but feel a pulsating presence within, leading you to a gnosis, an awakening that transcends conventional beliefs. Your consciousness elevates beyond temporal concerns, revealing in the grace experienced here and now, rather than in some distant afterlife. What does the Lord's Prayer say? That you want the same thing on earth as it is in heaven. Who said this is the devil's playground? Only a fool would say that. Only a fool would say that. That's not illuminated and elevated in their understanding. Their pendulum is not swinging the same way to the left as it does to the right. You see? Even when I give you bullets like critical thinking, you know, in school they have all these subjects like this. They have the critical thinking part. They have key points. They have critical interpretation. This is how I teach. I break it down for a child to understand as a map and a guide, as a Sufi, as a sensei. The first thing you're going to do in my dojo is learn how to tie your belt. Everything else is uncivilized. Once you get a black belt, that means you're ready to learn. Point blank. The concept of initiation transcends traditional religious boundaries, aiming for direct experiences with divine awareness. You see? Critical interpretation. You know? The initiation represents a unique approach to spirituality that embraces immediate personal encounters with your Creator, in contrast to the established religious teachings that prioritize posthumous consequences. You know, however, one should critically consider the subjective nature of such experiences, questioning the universality or the universality of initiation as a path to divine understanding. Understanding. You see? Our goal, it is essential to remaining discerning regarding the potential limitations and biases inherited in these interpretations. Other scholars discuss the complexities of religious experiences when I have the pleasure to lecture with people of understanding. We illuminate the diverse ways. Us that do this, we seek an understanding and a connection to the divine. And we offer a broader context that challenges the ideas of initiation as a universally superior method. You got these brothers that say they some grand governor of the Moorish Zion Temple and they went into the adapt chamber. You ain't go through no adapt chamber with no phone call, with no goofball. Because I know what people, I went through the adapt chamber. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Your seal don't mean nothing neither. Point blank. So don't let nobody get you caught up. And can't nobody on this internet nationalize you. Damn sure don't get caught up with that goofy stuff. That Roger Elvick crap. I'll give you this second one, then we got to proceed. I'll give you chapter 2, the mystical secret societies. I might get to chapter 3 because this one might not be too long. But the mystical secret societies existing throughout human history and across cultures. We focus on initiation and spiritual liberation. Our primary goal is to transform individual consciousness through communal practices akin to modern special interest groups where members engage based on shared interests and knowledge, seeking personal development. That's why I said, if you're not here to learn, why are you here wasting your time? Members of these societies aim to reach higher consciousness by participating in rituals and sharing mystical knowledge, which evokes reverence and awe. This experience often contrasts with the understanding of the typical rational mind. So, some doctrines of mystical secret societies, the predominant formation of mystical secret societies in the Western esoteric tradition is a hierarchical structure order. When you talk about Alan Blavatsky and all them, and you talk about all those things and the Theosophical Society, and you think that's something that they created. No. When I show you, they was all learned by Moors. They all had Sufis, Islamic teachers. I'm telling you, most people just don't have the information. When we talk about the Western esoteric traditions, like one of them is an inner doctrine, and this core teaching is progressively unveiled through initiatory degrees. 2 is the hierarchical structure. Knowledge increases with one's position in that order, emphasizing loyalty and commitment. 3 is the moral framework, emphasizing loyalty, service to the society, respect for hierarchy, and dedication to the inner doctrines, progressive revelation, secrets, and gradually disclose. Distinguishing the committed from the curious. Distinguishing the committed from the curious. I don't say secret, everything is sacred with me. Nothing's secret with me. Ain't nothing secret with me. Nothing. Nothing is secret with me. Not one thing. Ain't nothing secret. Only people that hold something secret is a criminal. Point blank. These keys is for the whole family. These keys I teach to babies. It's nothing that a person that took some oath gonna tell you, because they took an oath of not to tell you the truth. These is facts. Standard oath. These are used to ensure that only suitable individuals receive the society's secrets, fostering the value of discretion and curriculum. When I tell people Moorish Science Temple is not no Islamic sect, no government sect, that's cap. We a school. Includes recommended literature and practices like meditation and rituals, preparing candidates to grasp the inner doctrine more effectively. So I give y'all some little points, key points. The transformative experience of communal practices in mystical secret societies is subjective. Critical interpretation. In this chapter 2, the chapter emphasizes that while mystical secret societies aim to elevate consciousness through rituals, this perspective may not universally resonate or hold any weight for all individuals. Because I'm going to get you there without all the bull crap. You must be willing to be a student. That's it. People went to college and spent all that money, and all I ask is for donations so we can build our temple and school. And I give taxes and receipts. I'm real. Critics argue that the perceived higher consciousness may just be a psychological construct rather than an objective spiritual elevation. And this invites skepticism. But the author's portrayal of these societies as universally enlightened. For example, it's a philosopher called Carl Jones. Y'all might have heard of him. Explorations into collective unconsciousness suggest that such experiences might tap into deeper psychological archetypes rather than divine truths. Hence, the student or the reader should question the exclusive nature of these mystical journeys and consider alternative interpretations regarding consciousness and personal development. And that's what you get here. I give you something to compare it to. Why? Because truth has no sides. Truth has no sides. The last one we'll proceed is the doctrines of the mystical secret societies. You know, doctrines of mystical secret societies is like the inner doctrines, which is a core principle that all teachings revolve around, progressively revealed through the initiatory degrees. And initiatory is through the wisdom with me. Also, I teach Wing Chun, martial arts, and sticky hands, but that's all that comes with me. Hierarchical structure, members gain knowledge and infer loyalty to society based on their ranks, your moral value, all that, right? So I don't want to stay too far in that. I just want to give that little tittle of information, if you didn't mind. I want to keep going through this. Another piece of literature that if you go on my YouTube page, and I've shared it, you can go on your own YouTube page and pull up the Scottish Rite Mason. He's giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday. A European Albion Trailer Mason, Scottish Rite Mason, he's giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday. I shared it on my YouTube page, and it's on YouTube. All you gotta do is pull it up. And he highlights this book right here. He highlights this book right here. How the Arabian Nights inspired the American Dream, 1790 to 1935. Talks about how these brothers act like they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is. How they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is. If the European Masons know, everybody know. And that's why I be laughing at my brothers when they act like they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is. Please, miss me with the cap. If I can get you the book, The Spondu Mystery by Peter Moon, with Noble Drew Ali on the cover, with all the U.S. generals on there, come on, man. We're not going to even go through that. We just bury a lot of our scholars in shallow graves because we don't think no one that looked like this has taught the world. But then when the Europeans show you, when Neville Goddard show you that his teacher was the Ethiopian rabbi, Ab Allah, then you can't say nothing. Then you can't say nothing. Because we are educators, we teachers, but a lot of people gravitate to the Fugazi. So I'm gonna share something with y'all. Have y'all ever heard of? Let me see where my brother Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta. I'm gonna show you some of his books with an Islamic scholar that traveled the world. And then they try to say, listen how they try to play a game. Moroccan from North Africa, city of Tangier. He was an indigenous North African. They didn't say they say he wasn't African American, but watch this, because you ain't either. Remember, free men were Amazigians. Amazigians, free men. I break this down all through history. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I challenge you to do your own research. He was an indigenous North African. Okay, well, how do you, they say he's an indigenous North African. Amazigian. And you know what the Amazigian is? Berber. Well, who was the Berbers? The free men. In Thomas Jefferson Quran, they called you a Berber, a Corsica, a pirate. I hope y'all catching this. The War with the Moors, they wrote the song from the halls of my, come on, y'all know. All my military people who traveled extensively throughout the world. But you talk about Christopher Columbus. Man, listen, we'll talk about that later. I got all the diaries. We're not here to play no color game. We're here to teach. Hell, Jamie Foxx played a Moor in Robin Hood. Y'all remember? Mark played in Black Knight the Moor. Morgan Freeman played the Moor. Lawrence Fishburne played a Moor. I mean, come on. But who traveled extensively throughout the world, including parts of Black Africa, which he referred to his writings, key notes in his travels. He was born in Tangier, Morocco in 1304 into a well-to-do family of Islamic legal scholars belonging to the Lawata Berber tribe. Ethnicity, Berbers, Amazigians people are the indigenous ethnic group of North Africa, distinct from the populations of sub-Sahara Black Africa, which Ibn Battuta refers to as Zunju or Zunji, Z-U-N-U-J, in his travel log. Travels, he was a scholar and explorer who traveled more than any other pre-modern explorer, covering most of the Islamic world, as well as Russia, China, the Iberian Peninsula, and both West and East Africa. Observations of race, his travel log, the RIHLA, the R-I-H-L-A, included his observations and descriptions of various cultures and peoples. When describing the people of Kilwa in East Africa, for example, he noted that most of the people are Zunji, a medieval Arabic term for visibly Black Africans, clearly distinguished them from his own ethnic background. He also noted the customs of the people in the town of Walta in West Africa and their contempt for whites. I hope we listening when people try to control your scholarship. A map and a guide is not going to do that. There's no reason to do that. Now let me show you some more scholarship before we get out of here, because this one's going to be long. Oh, and my last drip for my Nation of Islam brothers. Sunni Muslim, whatever. But what Quran do my Nation of Islam brothers study? I want to see if anybody knows. And what's his name? I want to see if anybody catch it. And then I got one more drip and we out of here. Do anybody know? Do anybody know that Quran? Do anybody know? For anybody, my brothers that's study Islam, my Nation of Islam, my Sunni Muslim, especially my Nation of Islam brothers, what Quran do you read from? And who was originally written by or composed by? Do anybody know? Do anybody know? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Do anybody have an idea? Okay, you don't remember his name? Okay, let's see if anybody else. Because see, I shoot from the lip, not the hip. Like when people be talking and they be like, okay, where are you getting this science from? Because I know where the science come from. I'll let a person do their whole dissertation and then I'll just use the book that they say they teaching from. And all they can do is sit on their hands. Because I know you just regurgitate crap. And all you do is recite what was been told to you from no understanding. I'll see if anybody else know. It's very simple. But gratitude for keeping it honest, Noble Bay. A lot of people will sit in there and be like, yeah, yeah, and be just talking and talking. But instead of being an honorable person and say, no, I really don't know. And we'll walk out the house still not knowing. You see? Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the hearts. Keep them hearts going. Keep them likes going. Share this message. If you can't do nothing else, share this message, man. So, Abe Noble is from Maulana Muhammad Ali. That's the Quran. Right there. Now, what else have you written? When I be listening to my Islamic brother and I be like, dude, that don't even sound right. Because that's the Quran you're studying, are you studying his literature? Just like I'm a teacher, a mapping guide, and all my muftis and I've written literature. They study the literature. And then all the other literature, I give them there a crash course. So they don't get caught up with dogma. We're not lukewarm, none of my brothers. Well, if you understand if that's your Quran, that's your writer, that's what you reading and studying, you promulgating, then he also wrote the Antichrist and Gog and Magog. Maulana Muhammad Ali. Oh, you don't know that? That's why I be laughing. I be like, dude, I know people don't study. And they be putting their foot in their mouth. Most brothers do. They put their foot in their mouth. I mean, it's a plethora of books. And wisdom. Muhammad and Christ by Maulana Muhammad Ali. Here go another one of his writings. So when I tell brothers I study all science, I'm not here to argue with no one. I just know a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know what they be talking about. I know that for a fact. Especially if they say this is what they study and all this, and I'm like, well, then I bring out your tools, your books from your teachers and from your person that you study the Quran. How are you going to deny what I'm saying? How? How are you going to deny what I'm saying? It's foolish. You know? It's foolish. It's foolish. I just know most of our brothers, their aptitude, all they can watch is Power and Love and Hip Hop. They'll binge watch that. Most of the brothers don't study. They don't have the aptitude. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. It's no disrespect to no one. I have all the Quran. This is the same Quran, but they spell his name just a little bit different. Oh no, it ain't. Not in this one. So when brothers be talking, I'll be like, dude, like, what are you studying? Or you put all your faith in man. Oh. Here go the adventures of Ibn Battuta. I have all the books of everything I talk about. And I wanted to show y'all this, and I said, I give gratitude to those that purchased books from me yesterday. All those books that I have for thousands of dollars, I sold them for a fraction of the price. I gave them all, because I know brothers and sisters don't have money like that. But you should use some of your money for what you say you love instead of just niggertainment. That's all I'm telling my brothers and sisters. If you a scholar and you're an educator and I have this, why would you go anywhere else and get it? Why would you make Jeff Bezos rich as they make these books expensive and they go in his pocket? And I have the same books converted to ebooks and I print the expensive ones. And I print the expensive and the rare ones. And I give you the ebooks, the ones that's not expensive, as an ebook for a fraction of the price, for pennies of a dollar. That would be easy for me. I share everything I have. That's why I say, man, we're going to share everything down. It's one nationality, many cultures. We're not letting nobody put no cap on your wisdom and your understanding. No, ain't nobody putting no cap on mine. It ain't gonna happen. I don't give a damn what no Negro get on here talking about they some sheik of the Moorish Science Temple. Fool, I'm from the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it's only one. I have all my adapt paper, all my ordination papers. I show everyone this. I got all my three ID cards. I tell y'all, with me, when I get into something, I told y'all, what Noble Drew Ali put together is not bad. What Negroes promulgate in the flesh is messed up. As they be talking about, you can file these fake taxes. And I know brothers that say they were sheiks in the temple, they dead now, sent people in the burning house, and they went to prison for filing fake government refunds. But then you say Moors don't pay taxes. Well, how the so-called sheep go to prison and got everybody locked up for it? And I ain't got to say no names, but if somebody get on here talking, I'm just going to illuminate it all, because it's all a fallacy. It's all a fallacy. Any questions? Any questions? All these books, all this stuff I have for y'all. Okay, and then I'll talk about an ancient Islamic set. And I don't think anybody ever knew about this set. It's the Ismaili imams, you know, and a lot of other science that I deal with, where I just tell a lot of people, I say, man, listen, the Ismailis, it's a whole different science that I deal with. And it's Islamic, but it's different levels of Islam. And I don't be here to argue with no al-Islam Muslim or no pale Muslim, pale-faced Muslim, or no black person or nothing. I can care less. I deal with what I understand and what I have the pleasure to be initiated under. No one put a cap on me. No one. Not one person. We can get to the root of it. It's only one science. A lot of people are orthodox. I'm not orthodox. You know, point blank. So when I show things to brothers and sisters, I'm showing you to please digress, because I can go all the way with it. To be like, no, we ain't gonna deal with none of that goofy stuff. We're gonna tell it like it is and let you make a decision of what you wanna deal with. I'm a school of adapts. I'm a Moor. That's where it stops with me. I challenge you to know who you are. Now, the book that I was telling y'all, Without Sanctuary, that's taken me a little bit to down to copy the book, because all those pictures, the pixels is coming out kind of blurry. I'm working on it. I got somebody working on that. But I have another book that I can offer y'all right now for the pennies of the dollar. It's called 30 Years of Lynching in the United States from 1889 to 1819. And it got dates, histories of all type of stuff in this book, you know, and in this pamphlet. All through it, I mean, it got so much history. It got the United States map in here. It's got so much history of lynching and history in this book. And I don't want to take too much time to talk about it, because I'll just be talking about it if you haven't touched it for yourself. I want people to touch things and smell things, to have things, for you can start asking questions. You can be like, oh man, I see who lied to us. I see who's subjugating us, our own people. I see who on here confusing people. You see women on here getting on, the Moors did this. What? Well, no, we the M-U-U-R, not the M. Lady, shut up. You spell Moor, M-O-H-R, M-O-O-R. Gone with the cap. Well, the Moors killed this, that. Man, your daddy killed somebody. Your uncle is a molester. Your baby daddy is a fool. What we talk about? We talk about some stuff, well, the Moors did this. Shut up. King Leopold used the fez as part of his uniform. Hitler did too. What we talking about? What we talking about? A Negro will sell his mama out right now. A Negro will sell his mama out right now. So when people be talking that stuff, I'll be like, man, shut up. With all respect and all love. So I share things with y'all for y'all can have, for we don't even have to be caught up in no one trying to put a cap on our wisdom. We don't have time for that here at the BBT. You can see all those books that I shared earlier with over $4,000. Over $4,000. Everyone should be hitting me up. I give these books and stuff to people for a fraction of a dollar to have on your tablet, and then you can learn. And then I share adapt class and Sunday school for we can learn. I brought something back to my people because it's nothing secret. I love my so-called Hebrew Israelites, but your science is off. With all due respect, you are arbitrarily explaining the scriptures, and you can't do that because it ain't no such thing as Hebrew. That's an act. So who are they? The act don't change your bloodline or your family. We have to be truthful with our teachings and not biasness. It's not operate on no color stricken, because righteousness is not contingent on your stupid ass color. That's asinine. That's asinine. When I talk about pseudepigrapha. The pseudepigrapha of the Old Testament and New Testament is so much. And I have so much literature and wisdom to share with my brothers and sisters to build your libraries, for we can talk and discuss, so we don't have to get caught up in anything fugazi. Nothing. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. Because it's a responsibility that I have. I'm telling you. And I didn't get into this to be famous or to be no YouTube sensation, but I said since social media people on here and people using it for bad, we're going to use it for the good. And we're going to come against all that fake More Science stuff, the More Science Inc., all that. If you promulgate something wrong, there's only one science. It's only one science. I can care less about all that other stuff. It doesn't matter to me. So I thank y'all, everybody on TikTok that purchased all those books yesterday that came to about $4,000, and I gave them to y'all for a fraction of a dollar, all the ebooks, and a couple people are paid for me to print them, and bind them. I offer books worth $1,000. That's why we don't know, because we're not into the know. And people that have the information, they try to send you to their bookstore or to somebody else's bookstore so they can get a kickback. But see, I am the kickback, because I print every book and give it away for the fraction of a dollar to shut it all down. Only a God man can do that. Only a person that know what they talking about and doing took the time. I did just what Google did. Google spent $25 million taking books and turning them to ebooks and PDF. But I just took my academic endeavor. It took me years to do this. It took me years to get a full physical library and then convert a lot of books, and then I know how to get them ebooks and PDFs. That took time. And so it only be Negroes that be hating. I ain't never ran across a European out here in Arizona that hate on my business. None. Not one. Because they say I'm fulfilling a need. So with that being said, man, I thank y'all. And here it is. This is one of the books one of my European students bought. He go to GCU. He taking religious studies. It's called Revealing the African Presence in Renaissance Europe. He had to get that. And it's another book I gave him. It was the Protestant history, how when Negroes thought they were going to get baptized, but you still were a black slave. And they lecture on this, and we be thinking it's something new. We be all illuminated when they teach this. I even shared a book, it's called the Anglo-Saxon Dictionary, where I had a European student break the science down of what white mean and how it's really spelled and what's the real meaning of white. He broke it down, and he was a European. He said, well, that's the truth. Anglo-Saxon, and they dictionary tell you what white mean. Y'all gotta listen to me. Use they books. I use all they books and say, now what you saying? It's just like everything else in history and science. It's only one law. It's only one science. That's why when these brothers say, well, they Islamic scholars, I said, okay, I got an Islamic scholar. One of my professors, he wear his shemag with his kaif on and everything. And he say, well, a lot of that stuff ain't true, but you know that. He be on YouTube. One of the brothers I met on YouTube right now be whooping them so-called Islamic people butt. And he have his whole headdress on while he debunking a lot of stuff. He's like, it's just not true. He's like, I'm sorry. The time is off. The dispensation off. I got Judah Tribbles on the Rome by our brother Rudolph Windsor. You know brother Rudolph Windsor? This book used to be stacks on Amazon. It might not be that much. But a lot of this stuff I give for gifts. You got to know this stuff. That's why we don't know, because our people are not introduced to the science. I tell people this all day. We're not introduced to the science. All James Allen, all those books is all science. It's all science that Neville Goddard talk about that come from the Ethiopian rabbi. William Walker Atkinson, if anybody know those writers, that's all science. Genevieve Behrend, with all that attaining your desires, all science. I'm telling you. Alice Lincoln Benedict, How to Unlock Your Subconscious Mind, all auto-suggestion, which I teach here. Joseph Benner, Brotherhood, and all the books that he written, all science. I'm telling you, all Napoleon Hill books, all science, which we teach here. If they was in the flesh, they'd be like, well, your brother teaching you that. Christian D. Larson, Poise and Power, all more science you get right here. All more science. Neville Goddard, Awaken Imagination, and all his books, he was learned from the Ethiopian rabbi, Ab Allah. I have his book. I share it with y'all. Matter of fact, let me show you. This is where Neville Goddard was loaned from, the Ethiopian rabbi. Let's see if I can pull his book up. Let's see if I can pull the book up. I can't even think of, man, what's the name of that book? Dang, y'all, I gotta think of the name of it before I can show you that. Oh, man. Let me see. Here we go. I knew I'd find it. Okay. Now here's the cover of the book. Let me see if I can get a good picture of the cover of the book. There, here we go. Right here. Right here. Here go the book right here. Here we go, right here. Now, why you don't want this? And you can go on YouTube and listen to the book, you know, on YouTube as he's breaking it down. And on YouTube it's called Allah, Teacher Healer, the spiritual teacher of Neville Goddard, the Ethiopian rabbi. Now, it's another book that I have. It's called The Chosen Ones. And I showed y'all this picture a plethora of times. It have who? The Ethiopian rabbi, Abdullah, in a turban. Why? Because turbans were commonly used in the black churches. It signified the mystical East. It signified the mystical East. And then right on the other page, you got the Moor Zionist Temple of the Moor Zionist dudes with Rabbi Mordecai, you know, with his fez and his stole that I have on, that I show y'all, that I have so many of our stoles. So I don't know what people be talking about. And I offer these to my brothers and sisters to have for a fraction of a dollar that they charge you on Amazon. Now, why wouldn't you want to deal with your brother? I'll give you this for pennies of a dollar. Now, why wouldn't you want to deal with your brother? That'd be crazy to me. And I say, hit me up. Hit me up. If my European colleagues will do it, they see me on YouTube and they hit me up all day. Hey, She, I wrote these books down. How much can I get those ebooks for? And I give them to them. They be like, man, you the baddest thing I ever seen. I don't know what's wrong with your brothers that call themselves Moors. Me neither. My wife be talking about it all day. Man, I sold a plethora of books and it wasn't to no Moors. Not one. I be like, where y'all at? Y'all say y'all study? Oh, I like to read books. No, you don't. You know? Somebody talk about something uncomfortable. Ain't nothing uncomfortable.
Somebody says uncomfortable.
Consuming substance. This tea. But you know, people are always stupid. This tea. They said consuming substances featuring in this live could harm your health. Shut up. This tea. Don't know tea harm your health. That's why I be saying, people, if you don't hear some dumb stuff, this tea, and like Lil Wayne say, we don't even know what's in my cup. But people on here for the wrong reason. That's why I told you, grown people is messed up, man. Grown people is messed up. What he said, oops, sorry, I did press that. I was clicking heart. Oh, I'm just telling you, I read everything. I'm drinking tea. Tea is good for the body. You said, I'm from Jamaica. Islam. I deal with all my brothers and sisters. That's why I deal with the Cannabis Christ. I deal with the Shashat. A lot of stuff I share with people. I deal with all of it. I got all the manuscripts. I deal with the Cannabis Christ. I understand about the keeper and the gods. I don't diss nothing because I understand it all. When you understand it, it ain't nothing wrong. I deal with the Cannabis Christ. I understand the Shashat. I understand all that wisdom. I understand the Sephiroth. I understand all the 7 rays, you know, that goes along with everything I'm saying. But I share those books. I share the Cannabis Christ with, let me see if I got it on here. Let me see. As I close. I might have it on. Bam. Hey, for my Jamaican brother that just said something right here. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen this? Have any of my brothers and sisters ever seen this? Or ever had a chance to touch it and read it for yourself? You know, it's wisdom, it's everything. Everything I touch and everything I'm going to show is science, and I live it. So let me show y'all this as I close for my Jamaican partner. I got a plethora of wisdom. The Bible Society of His Imperial Majesty, published by H.H. Ras Adonis Tafari, you know, And I also deal with my Tasawwuf. You know, you see who they got on there. And I come with all love, coming forth to you from the holy place of the Most High, for the rebirth in the new covenant of his chosen people, the 1,444, the Beta Israel, the Beta Israel, the Beta Israel, with all love and respect. The word will touch the divine in you for those who seek to know more about his imperial majesty, Haile Selassie I, now known as Abba Kadus. Then find the way to the African Zion and seek the book called the Book of the Seven Seals. What do you think the Book of the Seven Seals? I break that down a plethora of times. I have it. It's a plethora of books of the seven seals. That's why I give you things to compare to, because it's a plethora of books of the seven seals. Let me write that down before I forget, before I can pull it up. For y'all, I'm almost done. I got to get out of here. But I just want to show you something real fast. This, and I have this for y'all. I have this, all this literature I have, and I've lectured it a plethora of times. It's nothing to argue about. A lot of our brothers and sisters just haven't been introduced to true wisdom and true understanding, because I teach true wisdom and understanding systematically. It's only one way to teach, you know? And if I done taught this on academias, and I've graduated with degrees, with honors, those degrees mean nothing. I'm just letting people know that if you want to challenge something, challenge where you can go challenge an academia and see, do you know what you're talking about? Like I did. That's all. When you understand what the Shashad is and the hieroglyphs, it's so much. And I don't even have time to indulge in all this wisdom and all this knowledge. It's like we talk about the following diagram, the names of God from the plant. You know? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll lecture it at a later date. I'll lecture it at a later time. I just want to show y'all what we have access to. And then it must be broken down. We have access to the stuff. We don't let nobody get us caught up in their own dogmatic perspective. Not I. And so when we talk about Jesus as the Christ, the cannabis experience incarnated, I'm not going to speak on that. I'm going to lecture it another time. One of my nobles, thank you, man. He said, you amazing. No, you amazing. And he said, can I get all those books? You can get this book, brother. I'll give it to you for pennies of the dollar. All you got to do is email me. Goodman, KHARY@gmail.com. I think I got your email address. I'll hit you up after this. And anything you want, I'll give it to you for a small fraction of the price. I got you. But, yeah. But I don't want to share too much more. I just wanted to show y'all a little plethora of things. Because me talking about it, I'd rather show you this stuff. I'd rather teach it to you in sections and bit by piece, for you can see it with your own eye. I'd rather you have it, so when I'm lecturing it, just like if you was coming to my class, I say you don't have the book, because the book is essential to my teachings. You're gonna need manuals. There's nothing wrong with it. If a teacher gonna teach you it. So, with that being said, I told y'all yesterday I'd go over a little bit of this Bobby Hemmett book list. So, I'll go over a couple books over that. I have the whole list. I have every book on this list. But somebody asked me to say, man, you got Bobby Hemmett book list for real? I have all our elders book list. I have all our elders book list. Every book that you would think, it's not only the book, it's living it. That's like somebody said, Sheikh, I love your wisdom because a lot of people talk about you can do this, you can do this. And I said, well, if all that science really means something, heal yourself. Exactly. So some of the books in the book list is the ISIS Papers by Francis Cress Wilson. I know y'all have that. If we don't, I have all these books as ebooks. The Hermetica by Peter Gandhi. It's another Hermetica by Walter Scott. It's another Hermetica by Copenhagen. Pagan Origins of the Christ Myth by John G. Jackson. The Finding of the Third Eye by Vera Stanley Alder. The Egyptian Book of the Dead by Muta Ashby. Legends of the Egyptian Gods by E.A. Wallace Budge, The Cyrus Mysteries by Robert Temple, Christianity Before Christ by John G. Jackson, Selected Writings and Speeches of Marcus Garvey, Things Fall Apart by China Achebe, The Ankh, African Origins of Electromagnetism. I showed y'all that book yesterday. I'll show it again, but I showed y'all that book yesterday. African Origins of Civilization, Myth or Reality by the elder, the scholar, Sheikh Anta Diop. I told y'all the book Without Sanctuary, Lynching, Photography in America by James Allen. Why Darkness Matters, The Power of Melanin by The Power of Melanin in the Brain by The Power of the Melanin in the Brain. Behold the Pale Horse, but I illuminate that too. Behold the Pale Horse really is nothing. No disrespect to William Cooper, but it is what it is. From the Motherland to the Mothership by Shirlene Wallace. Secret Source by Adam Parfee. Earth Palladium Keys to the Living Library by Barbara Mackinac. And Who's Who in the Egyptian Mythology by Anthony Mercanti. Psychic Self-Defense by Dion Fortin. Conflicting Genes, Neutrinoids, and Genocide, Amin Ra. Gnosis by Philip Gardner. Gnosis by Kurt Rudolph. That's just a few. So I want to stop right there. I've been going an hour. That's all I said I'm gonna always do is an hour. But like I said, all those books I have converted to ebooks for my brothers and sisters to have. And every Friday, my Mufti, Gregory Maso El, or myself, we break these books down in our book club every Friday on our Temple and School YouTube channel, you know, at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. But notice I have everything for our culture. I have shemags, turbans, fezzes, tunics, cotton or silk at morrishaberdasher.com, or get with me and I'll personally help you. Like, it's not hard. I'm a real person, a flesh of my flesh, a blood of my blood. You know, I'm not just on TikTok, just talking. I've educated myself. I've worked in academia. I said, now it's time for me to share something with brothers and sisters that they can have something to compare to. But a workman is due his hire. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong to donating and getting literature and getting what you want. And I offer tax-exempt receipts. I'm asking all Moors, join us. Hit me up, goodmancurry@gmail.com. My office number is 602-473-8767. Send me a text, say peace, say love, say something, and I'll send you a gift. If everybody email me, I'll send y'all one book. Everybody on here that's on here live on my TikTok and on YouTube, my email is Goodman, GOODMANKHARY @gmail.com. Everybody on here, if y'all write my email down, I will send you a free book from love. It might be a couple. Why? Because I can. When you go to Amazon and buy something here, Amazon don't give you nothing. I'm not just a for-profit business. That's what I tell people. I have a gift and I filled the hole in. I went in debt hundreds of thousands of dollars in academia. I don't call it debt when I purchase a lot of these books. I call them assets. Because look what I'm doing in academia and look what I've done for all type of students. I've helped so many people graduate that wanted to drop out of college. I helped so many people write in APA format where they didn't know what that means. They were like, man, I can't study like this. When I have these college students be like, listen, you're gonna have a system called the Turnitin system. It's gonna tell you where you plagiarize everything. I don't care what nobody say. ChatGPT don't work. We're not lazy. And what it did is made people lazy. I said, man, that ChatGPT show you that you're lazy. You don't have a brain. It's gonna show you where you got all that information from if you don't know how to source it right. These is facts. It's gonna show where you plagiarize everything if you don't know how to source it right. And it's a way in academia we study. And we study in APA format. We write in APA format. It's a way we study of peer-reviewed scholarly research. Truth has no sides. And I have a full library. So why wouldn't brothers and sisters want to deal with me? And you see all the books that I have for a fraction of a dollar. And I gave my email to y'all. I gave you my email. I gave you my office number for you can get with me. Once again, I'm going to show you these expensive books. As I close, what he say? Thank you, bro. I'm down. I know you did, bro. I know you did. Now, These the expensive ones. I'm not even gonna talk about the $100. I'm just gonna share the expensive ones, and you tell me how much what it come to. Fruits of the Moon Tree, The Medicine Wheel, and the Transpersonal Psychology by Alan Bleakley. That book is $687, but it's not available on Amazon, but on other platforms it's $999. Russia Icons by Vladimir Ivanov is $622. Melanin, the Chemical Key to Black Greatness, The Harmful Effects of Toxins on the Black People by Carl Burns, $999. The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, A New Look at the Slavery Issue by Lawrence Tinsler, $995. Now you tell me the cost of that. And all the other books I was throwing in for free. My brother, he was like, man, they was worth my couple hundred. I know it was. I gave Criminalizing a Race for free by Sharice McIntyre. That book is $199. It's gonna go up. I gave The Golden Age of the Moors for free by Ivan Van Sertima. It's $27 right now, but it's gonna go up. I gave the Book of Knowledge, The Keys to Enoch by J.J. Hurtak. It's $135. I gave that for free. The Sacred Drift, Essays on the Margin of Islam by Peter Lambert Wilson with our prophet on the cover. I gave that for free. And the last one I gave for free, I gave another one for free, The Secrets of Personal Psychic Power by Frank Rudolph Young. It's $112. I threw that in the package. And the last one I threw in the package was The Tavistock Institution of Human Relations, Shaping the Moral and the Spiritual Aspect of, Shaping the Moral and the Spiritual Aspects and the Economic Decline of the United States of America. I gave that one for free. All those books. So I know it was worth the couple $100 that I asked. Because you told the books, those cost over 4 bands. Over 4 bands. When people talk about they don't know who our prophet is, well, why Peter Moon, why he write about our prophet? Why Peter Lambert Wilson write about him? Why the Aliyhites? It's another book called The Aliyhites. Let me show you Spondu Mystery. Watch this. I got to get out of here. Okay, when people talk about, oh, that book ain't it? Yeah, because they don't want you to know what's going on. Why Noble Drew Ali on the cover of it? Why our prophet on the cover of there? It's a reason. It's a reason. Even, like I said, when I deal with teachings, it's a writer, his name was, he wrote a dictionary. And he, what's his name? It'll come to me. I wish one of my movies was on here. But he wrote the true definition of an ARAP, A-R-A-P. Not A-R-A-B, A-R-A-P. And they melanated. Vladimir Dale. Yeah, Vladimir Dale. I think it's 1828. You know, a dictionary. And in there, it tell you what an ARAP is. For real. It tell you what an ARAP is. Point blank, A-R-A-P. So, once again, I thank y'all. Morris, get with me. Subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Hit me up. I gave y'all my email. I gave everybody my office number. Support your brother. If you or more, you don't have a fez, we make fezes here at the BBT. With all the proper perforations for symbology. I get them ordered. With all the tassels, everything for symbology. Kufis, turbans, shemags, yarmulkes, our stoles, tunics, everything for the culture. Right here, from me. You know, and I make things custom. So thank y'all for supporting your brother. Thank everyone for tapping in today. I love every single one of you, no matter what you believe in. Because I understand everything that you believe in. I'm under the triple rose. I understand the Paraclete, the Fatima, the Jerusalem, the Christian. I understand all that stuff. It's nothing outside of myself. So I just challenge all my brothers and sisters, no matter what your banner is, no matter if you're a Greek fraternity, a Freemason, a Hebrew Israelite, an Egyptologist, or whatever you may profess, a Prince Hall Mason, whatever oath that you took, you can come up out of that. You can come up out of that because you didn't know what you was doing when you was a kid. Even with my Eastern Stars, listen, nobody gonna play with you. Listen, a perfect pentagram is standing erect with all its extremities. arm, leg, arm, head, not sideways. That's just a fact. And when I wear my compass and square, the compass and square, those are two tools. You use them in elementary, right? One was on your pencil, and the other one, what? You measure what? Lines and angles and squares. That's how you can circle your square. The circle and the square both have what? 360 degrees of degrees, just different parameter. When you look at that so-called compass, it's two tools to circumscribe the world. All Masonic so-called symbology are mathematical equations. You just don't know that. These is facts, man. And so I love all my brothers and sisters again. And I'm telling y'all, the BBT is a safe place. Be my guest on StreamYard every Saturday and Sunday for classes. Get some literature from me. Ask me any questions. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here for no bull crap. But I am here to clear up a lot of false stuff that we may have seen Moors do on this platform, that we may have seen people saying, oh, your Social Security is attached to this. That's cap. That's some Roger Elvick sovereign citizen paradigm criminal behavior. And if your Social Security number is attached to millions, there should be too. That's cap. You're not no sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. You can't be no sovereign and a citizen at the same time. That's cap. And you're not no foreign national. You're not no, that's an auto, you know what that is, that's an oxymoron. So a lot of this stuff people be talking about is just foolishness to get you harassed, to pay for my class and all that. That's a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. I'm telling you what I know. Nobody should be telling you to do nothing to defraud no government. Take my class. These people ain't no law people. They ain't won no court cases. And nobody should be telling you no law stuff with no fictitious name. And you sending stuff to fake P.O. boxes. These grown people, y'all ain't learned yet. This shows how stupid these people are. And then these people have these people on all these different podcasts with that dumb stuff. It be men and women. Oh, you can show people how to do this. We're going to show people how to do this. You can file this and like you administer and all this. That's false because you're not. And then people don't know what they're doing. It's truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. So why should somebody have somebody on a podcast that you know the information that they giving can get people in trouble? Why? Why would we do that as adults? Why? And then try to cover it over more science. That ain't no more science. We ain't here to overthrow no government. We for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these orders are violated, justice must then take its course. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Before I leave, matter of fact, let me give our divine creed before I leave. Before I leave. Because I think that's a must. Because a lot of these brothers be getting this twiggity twisted. Twisted. Let me see if I got this in my saving. Before I ain't gotta paraphrase. Let's see if I got it saved. I do. Okay. Here we go. A divine warning by our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Our prophet warned all Muslims, governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. And here we go. I can go more. Bring it out, like them Israelites say. Yeah. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing them fake stupid ass cards. That's my little 2 cents. At Europeans, it causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation, and it ain't from the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's what somebody made. These is facts. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they must turn in their card, button, cease wearing your turban, your fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. If you don't want to rock with that, you need to go sit down because you ain't promulgating more science. You promulgating your own fascist BS. Let me show y'all one more thing. Here go the state booklet of the Moorish Science Temple. How our Prophet Noble Drew Ali set the temple up. So when these Negroes talk about, oh, we supposed to set our own Islamic set, we supposed to do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You lying. You going to jail. And the way we set up, this is free information. Like some damn Moors talk about some 1099 and some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. No, it don't. It's a religious affidavit. You can go to, it's from the county clerk, recorder of deeds. That ain't no goddamn trust fund at the end of the rainbow. It's an affidavit. How the Prophet Noble Drew Ali set up the temple. That's how I know people don't know what the hell they talk about. They don't know what body politic is. They don't know what state is. They don't know. They don't know, and they make it up, and everyone's going to go to jail because you're using the internet to break the laws. You cannot say it's Moorish Science Temple of America. Why? Because I just showed you what Moorish Science Temple of America is. It's only one. Everybody else is fascist groups. Everything, if people not going to tell the truth, it's fascist groups. If you ain't going to break the science down, when I talk about Declaration of Human Rights, Article what? 15, you got a right of a nationality and a right to change it, and the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. No one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. How some jackleg on the internet with a fez on going to tell you that they can nationalize you and denationalize you? Man, it'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and forefathers. See, I'm telling you, they know it. They be mad because they liars. And then they just reinvented themselves, took their fez off, and taught that old sovereign citizen Roger Elbig crap, and all these stupid podcasts get these fools on there with these fake gold teeth and these fake AI courts, but they ain't gonna come to me because I know them all. A God man gonna make you sit on your hands with that crap. You don't follow nobody with that stupid stuff. It ain't no reason. I'm telling y'all, man, it ain't no reason. This is my last time talking about this. It ain't no reason. Nobody has the power to make a man as one can make a mason. That's the practice of Freemason at its most unscrupulous heights. To nationalize, make, or denationalize any human is both a sin and a crime. No God man, no prophet, no grand man has the power to nationalize any man, woman, or child. And those that have taken away a man's or a woman's true identity are criminals. This practice gave the United States courts and the outside world the illusion that the Moorish Science Temple of America was some religious sect whose members under the tenets were nationalized with a name Moorish American and loaned the organization marks of BNL. But this nationalization, hoodwinking, was never empowered or practiced by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali or any other upright man. No man has the power to nationalize another man. This would change him from the descendant nature of his foremothers and forefathers. If one can make, aka nationalize, a Moorish American, one can also make a Chinese, an Irish, or a Sudanese at will. See? This act brought a light of clandestine cultism within various Moorish Science Temple of America groups, showing how it has systematically denounced 98% of its members as non-Moorish or report their tribal names, Bayer El. But an entity that eats its young can never prosper. This is why John Doe, public of today, knows nothing about the true uplifting duties performed by our Prophet Noble Drew Ali and myself today in the flesh, due to this national inactivity of the Moorish officials. There are over 60 million so-called Negroes, black and colored people, acronym we call NBC, who do not know the great God of their forefathers, ordained to them a redeemer, ordained to you a redeemer. They all deserve to know these truths and make a choice. This is the main reason why the writer and myself, I don't give another MST or the organization the jurisdiction to neither rule over me or determine to my free national freedom and bamboozle my birthrights to be God. That's what this goofy stuff do, and it ain't Moorish Science Temple of America. And if it is, be damned them fools. And I'm posting this as a notice. This ain't no slander. This is a notice and a warning to the ignorant and a guide for those who are still practicing these sinful ways. You got to remember that choices are for the free. And my decision stands upon principles of love. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a chartered organization. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple of School is a chartered organization. I don't know what these clowns be talking about. The Moorish Science Temple of America Constitutional, our limitations are restricted If you say you're more, you talk about you teaching some Bitcoin, all that, you a lie. Especially if you say you're Moorish Science Temple of America, because it's restricted to only teach its members their nationality and divine creed. If you teaching anything else, that should be your profession. If not, go sit down. These people be bragging, I dropped out of school in the 12th grade. That ain't nothing to brag about. They be talking about they went to the law library. It's library. And who cares if you can go to a law library? That don't mean nothing about no precedent of law cases. No doc number and Free Information Act. That don't mean nothing because you got stupid black laws. That's meaningless to me. This is the only way for it to live out its purpose, the uplifting of fallen humanity. From its inception to 1913, the Noble Group was never intended to be recognized as a national government, an Islamic sect, secret order, or as a religion. Yet today, the MSTA is widely known and accepted as its founder is been reduced from a prophet of Allah to a Shriner. That's what nigga, oh, he's a Freemason. Okay, well, find my charter. I ain't part of that. I told y'all my affiliations. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society and I have my own charter. The same way our prophet did, the same way all God men do. So with that, I say thank y'all. I love y'all again for taking, what, an hour and 20 minutes listening to little old me, which I think is not a lot of time because we've been misused and we've been abused by these people. Some people may have went to the temples and been subjugated, but I know most people haven't been to the Moorish Science Temple of America. I know that. I know that and you know that. But I love everyone and I hope everyone have a good night. And please do business with your boy. Don't be a lotterer, you know. Come do business with me. Please, I don't care if you spend $5, do business with me. But you know a workman is due is higher and you know I have something for value. I love y'all once again. Thank y'all and I'll see y'all tomorrow at about 4 p.m., maybe 4:30ish because that's when I get home. And so I have to try to give me a bite to eat. But I'm here with y'all to continue to teach. I hope y'all support our ministry as we try to build our brick and mortar once again the right way with our library and our culture center and our computer lab. Everything that I've done in the real world, all my mentoring and all my behavioral health therapy, I want to bring it back to my people. And the people can support it. How? With donations. We letting the wrong people diagnose our children. I can do that. We got to use social media. We got to use the internet to do these things. We got to come together. We got to stop just traveling for fun and girls trips and boys trips. We got to travel to do some real things and build our infrastructure because we can. And that's when all the complaining stops. How? When we use our own resources. And I'm transparent and put some trust in someone that's trustworthy. That's the only way we can do things if you're dealing with love. If my heart was broke before, I'm not going to stop looking for love because I love love. I'm going to keep looking for that love. But I'm going to be conscious and I'm going to listen to the signs. I'm going to listen to my spirit to tell me what's happening. And so I challenge you to do the same thing. I love y'all once again. Support your brother. Send some stars or some likes, some shares if that's all you can do. But if you send me your email, I will give you a free book to Goodman, KHARY, @gmail.com. And once again, my office number is 602-473-8767. I love y'all, man. Thank you. Peace, light, and illumination. I love you. And remember, I don't study anything out myself. Anything outside of myself is true shirk. God and man is one. Peace, love, light, and illumination.